With the release date for Avengers Infinity War right around the corner, a whole bunch of theories about the movie's main plot devices, the Infinity Stones, have been popping up all over the place. I mean, we've heard people talking about stuff like what order Thanos gets the stones in, what all's actually going to happen when he does get them all, or even if he gets them all in this movie, which never really made any sense to me, considering that this movie always felt like Thanos was going to complete the gauntlet by the time the credits roll, but whatever, maybe that's just me. Now, if you've seen the Infinity Stone location video I did a while back, you should pretty much be all caught up with where all these things are, and if you're not, I'll put a link in the description, you can check it out whenever you want. But as it turns out, my theory in that video that Hela has the Soul Stone was wrong. Go figure. So fine, it wasn't in Thor Ragnarok. Where is it really then? Well, nobody's entirely sure. I mean, there are some theories out there, but we'll get into that in a little bit. That having been said, there do seem to be a few pieces of evidence that, weirdly, point to Iron Man being the wielder of the Soul Stone, or at least is the one that's going to be most heavily associated with it when Infinity War pops up in theaters. For instance, this poster and a line of collectible cups both feature the Infinity Stones paired off with the characters that are most strongly associated with that stone. So, for example, we can see Doctor Strange paired off with the Time Stone in both the poster and on the respective cup. And while the cups don't completely line up with this idea, doing stuff like pairing Thanos and the Black Order with the Mind Stone, even though it's paired with Vision in the poster, we do actually see Iron Man paired off with the Soul Stone on both the poster and the cup. On top of that, we also have official confirmation from Kevin Feige that the Soul Stone is going to show up sometime in a Phase 3 film. So unless this thing retroactively appears in one of these movies, then I'm assuming that means it'll appear in Infinity War. Now, me personally, I'm thinking all this put together can't be an accident. Like, there has to be some kind of connection between Iron Man and the Soul Stone that we're going to find out about during the fight against Thanos. And honestly, as weird as it may sound, Iron Man being tied to the Soul Stone makes way more sense than some of these other theories floating around out there. Speaking of, as I mentioned in some of my other Infinity Stone videos, we know for a fact that at least two of the more popular theories about where the Soul Stone is can't be true. Like, we know the stone can't be with Heimdall because you'd think either Odin or Loki would definitely know if Heimdall was keeping one of these things on Asgard and would probably want it sent off world like a while ago.
The Tesseract is already on Asgard. It is not wise to keep two Infinity Stones so close together.
And sure, you could argue that Heimdall having the stone is the reason why Odin left the Tesseract on Earth to later be found by the Red Skull in the first Avenger. Great job, dude. But even then, why would Odin keep both Infinity Stones on Asgard after the cubes brought back in the Avengers? And everybody always loves to mention Heimdall's eye color like, oh, his eyes are orange, it must mean he's wielding the Soul Stone. But here's the thing, different color eyes mean nothing, as I mentioned with examples in my other Infinity Stone videos. And on top of that, how would Thanos not notice the stone when he attacks the Asgardians? There wouldn't be such a huge mystery surrounding it or a big race to find the stone if it's literally sitting right in Thanos' face the whole time. And as for anybody who wants to argue, well, maybe he just doesn't notice it. Come on, dude. Come on. He managed to track down the Tesseract after Asgard was destroyed. I'm pretty sure he could figure out if Heimdall has the Soul Stone. And despite what some people may think, we also know the stone can't be in Wakanda for a couple different reasons. I know the place is pretty mystical and all, with all those trips to the ancestral plane and heart-shaped herbs scattered throughout the movie, and a lot of that stuff could be explained away by saying that there's an Infinity Stone somewhere in Wakanda, like where that vibranium meteorite landed, but according to director Ryan Coogler when asked by IGN, the Soul Stone is definitely not involved in Wakanda's or the Black Panther's history. He stated, I love the Infinity Stones as much as any comic book fan, it's just Wakanda already has its thing, which is vibranium. For us, that was special enough, so to throw in something like another special thing didn't feel right. It felt like we should stick with our one MacGuffin for the country and explore that, let that be the one important thing because, frankly, we didn't need to have another piece like that. Marvel Studios never really was interested in putting a stone in there either. And on top of that, you know, there's the fact that everything mystical about Black Panther was literally said in the movie to be just because of the vibranium leaching into the soil and not because of some magic rock from the far reaches of space. So, you know, there's that. So, okay, the Soul Stone's not in Wakanda and it's not with the Asgardians. So where is it and how does Tony get it? Or at the very least, how is he tied to it? Well, I'm thinking that at some point during the fight on Titan, somebody winds up using time travel to pull the Soul Stone to the present, and maybe Tony ends up dying by Thanos using the Soul Stone on him. I know it sounds a little crazy, but hear me out. We know thanks to the Infinity War comic that the stone is out and about somewhere, but nobody's entirely sure where exactly it is. This kind of makes sense given that we have seen similar backstories for some of the other stones like the Ether, but then again, you'd think somebody would do a better job at keeping an eye on the one object that's apparently more dangerous than all the other ones in the set. Plus, using time travel would make getting a missing Infinity Stone way easier than actually going out and trying to track it down. Maybe Thanos already knew or figured out where the Soul Stone was in the past before it went missing, and after snatching the Time Stone, he just pulls the stone up to the present. Or maybe the heroes on Titan figure out where the stone is and they try to stop him using time travel. Either way, it's not too much of a stretch to say that that could happen, since we already know time travel is going to be involved with the movie at least a little bit.
Went forward in time to see all the possible outcomes. Did we win any?
But assuming that's true, then wouldn't that mean that the Soul Stone's really been on Titan this whole time? I mean, I guess it makes sense. Why else would Thanos head back to the ruins of his old homeworld in the first place? Just to take in all that wonderful scenery? And as we saw in one of the TV spots during the battle in Wakanda, something that takes place after the fight on Titan, Thanos actually shows up with a nearly finished Infinity Gauntlet. Like you can see, he has the Power, Space, and Reality Stones, and I'm assuming that little bit of green right there means he also has the Time Stone. But do you see that orange one right there? I don't know about you guys, but that definitely looks like the Soul Stone to me, and that is awesome. So okay, cool, Thanos gets the Soul Stone on Titan, but then that just raises a whole new question. What was it even doing there in the first place? Well, I'm thinking maybe the stone was originally some kind of relic or something that nobody besides Thanos really gave any attention to, if it was even something the rest of the Titans knew about before their planet was messed up. Assuming really any of them did know about the Soul Stone, I can't imagine it was really anything they fully understood or was a big part of their society or anything like that, because you'd think there'd be way more records about it if that were the case. Now, what does that have to do with Tony? Well, I'm thinking these guys figure out what Thanos is after, and they try heading to Titan to keep the Mad Titan from getting to the stone first, only for Thanos to pop in, whoop some serious ass, and then just take the stone. Then, after everybody's done getting their asses kicked, Tony gets Doctor Strange to teleport everybody else to Wakanda while he stays behind to give everybody time to escape, and winds up getting his soul collected by the Soul Stone during the beatdown he gets from Thanos.
I hope they remember you.
We know based on set descriptions and the footage we've seen so far that most of the other heroes on Titan wind up on Earth during the Wakanda invasion, so obviously Thanos doesn't kill everybody, and it would obviously be a huge gut punch watching Robert Downey Jr. finally kick the bucket, even though he's been saying he wants to retire from the Tony Stark character for a little while now. Seriously though, assuming this is true, Tony sacrificing himself would also be a great throwback to his argument with Captain America during the Avengers.
You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play, to lay down on a wire and let the other guy crawl over you.
I think I would just cut the wire.
Always a way out.
And would be an equally great reminder of how far he's come over the course of his superhero career. So just to sum everything up, I think the Soul Stone's on Titan, just way back in the past. Thanos wants to go there in the present to use the Time Stone to get it, and somebody has to sacrifice themselves to let everybody else on Titan escape back to Earth, which is where Tony's part of the Infinity War seemingly comes to an end. I say seemingly because you never know, we could see Robert Downey Jr. come back as an entirely different version of Tony, or this Tony just comes back to life during Avengers 4, or something like that. But anyways guys, that's my take on how Iron Man's tied to the Soul Stone during Infinity War. If you guys agreed with anything I said in this video, or if you have your own theories you want to throw out there, then go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, then go ahead and click that like button, and if you're new, maybe consider clicking that subscribe button too. I've also got links to my Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Patreon in the description. You should probably check those out too. And if you want to see more of my content, then you can click the link to my last video. It's right there in the middle of your screen. Alright, and I will see you all next time.